What's happening, forum? In this video we're going over a few crossover movies, specifically Freddy vs Jason and Alien vs Predator. This type of concept was such a hype thing for myself as a child, and isn't really used often too much in media anymore, I guess due to the rights that studios hold over specific characters and franchises. Obviously crossovers are still prevalent and still a thing, but sometimes they get used more in a cameo sense, especially when you would relate it to something more like the Marvel and DC cinematic universes, which people are obviously getting sick of at the moment. But it's always fun and interesting when two similar characters or franchises come together to give the fans what they are asking for, or to boost each respective media in some type of way. So without any further ado, let's get into it. This film's essentially a dark comedy slasher, as the film understands how ridiculous and silly some of the scenes and premises can come across, displaying this in the opening scene.
You kids need some assistance?
As a group of friends are attacked by Jason on Elm Street. A pretty funny decision to make, as anyone could have really thought this idea up. The thought behind it is ultimately, what if Jason was like to have a nightmare on Elm Street, dude? And as far as most of the story relating to the incident is pretty forgettable and uninteresting, with some funny acting at times.
What the hell were you doing over there? You were supposed to be watching your sister. Were you drinking?
My best friend was just killed, Dad! Whoa!
Funny no one ever told us.
Okay, thank you.
No. You want some free advice? Coffee. Make friends with it.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
And some of the dialogue we get from them is also on a similar tier.
Fucking lunatic, you know that? I know you are, but what am I?
Come on now, dawg.
But we are not here for that. We're here for the Freddy and Jason scenes, which does take a little time to come, as we are heavily teased through both individually terrorizing random people related to the plot, but who really cares into getting into that, when it's slowly revealed how the connection between the two villains and franchises will be made, as Freddy has become insecure and believes he is being forgotten about, and to fix this problem he receives help from Jason by killing some people. I don't really understand at all how this helps fix Freddy's problem, but eventually Jason goes too far for Freddy's liking, and he decides he's actually stealing his shine at this point, leading to their rivalry. Freddy comes into the normal world by body snatching one of the characters, which maybe you can make sense of to this scene, but I can't really. And is able to send Jason to the dream world by drugging him, leading to the first interaction that everyone has been waiting for. And actually gets a little bit deeper than just a quality action scene, as we get to see Jason in a vulnerable state from Freddy's mental tricks and having the high ground. The human characters take Jason's unconscious body during this and believe if they can bring Freddy into their world, Jason will kill him and somehow they'll be free from the both of them after this. During them driving Jason to Crystal Lake, believing it'll give them the upper hand, Freddy starts drowning him in the dream world, and no joke, the human characters start considering giving him CPR.
But I've had asthma since I was 6, okay? I don't have the lung power.
He has asthma!
When they arrive at Crystal Lake, their plan goes smoothly as they manage to bring Freddy into their world and give the fans what they want, as him and Jason have a decently long crack on. With both sides coming to a supposed demise as they get blown up by the characters, finding some convenient gas tanks next to them when they are fighting, and during the necessary villain comeback scene, beheads Freddy. Where of course the studio couldn't end it with that, as the true final scene shows us Jason walking out of the water with Freddy's head, setting up the sequel that never came to be. This is a fun crossover, but there doesn't seem to have much of substance to it other than the scenes between Freddy and Jason, and the human characters really add nothing to the story and if anything take away from it. But still, if you're a fan of the horror slasher genre or particularly enjoy these two franchises, definitely give it a half watch while doing some cardio or chore, but I don't think this really requires your full attention. Alien vs Predator gives us a bit more of a faithful crossover, as it adds further substance and lore to both franchises and is delivered in a more grounded sense. Yet the introduction of the crossover comes in a very similar delivery compared to Jason vs Freddy though, as we use kinda uninteresting and underdeveloped human characters as a vessel to explain and bridge the connections between franchises. Maybe I'm being a bit too harsh here, as there are some interesting characters in this, especially relating to Erwin Bremen's character, who is probably just too good of an actor to be in something like this, to be honest.
Alright, mullet.
Hey, Dan Tony, you alright, mate?
The setup consists of a group of geologists who are sent on a mission to uncover a hidden temple in Antarctica, found through heat signatures by the Weyland Company, familiar to us through the Alien franchise. The Predators are quickly shown to have a large involvement with this temple, as soon as entering the Antarctic area, they attack the Weyland base and kill off a few side characters. When they arrive at the temple, the first room they enter is a sacrificial chamber, which reveals how the aliens are introduced into the film, as the Predators are using them as some kind of sport for their younger spawns to prove their maturity and skills. In order to actually obtain the xenomorphs, they have restrained the queen alien, forcing her to birth eggs, giving them as many facehuggers that they require, but still need a host, leading to the ironic finding of the temple by the Predator-induced heat signatures. So naturally, as the humans go through the temple, they are eventually hosted by facehuggers, leading to the birth of the xenomorphs and what the movie is ultimately made for, the alien predator aspect. But also during this, managed to find predator technology in the form of their weapons used to kill the xenomorphs with, where we get our first encounter between the two species at slightly past the halfway point of the film, where the predators are ambushed while pursuing their weapons from the humans. As the humans make their escape with the Weyland owner, who is called Weyland, sacrifices himself to give them more time and distract the Predator, giving us this very strange scene where the Predator spares him due to him having a chronic illness.
You got eczema?
I got what?
Got eczema?
And while the others escape, we get the explanation of lore between the aliens and Predators through a pretty bullshit scene, as a character just reads a whole storyline through hieroglyphics. Eventually there's only one human character left and makes a decision because of this new information and decides to return the weapons to the Predators, kinda in the thought of hoping to team up, as their goal ultimately matches, and actually manages to team up with the Predator, with even them making some armor and weapons for her. Kicks off at this point of the film as the Queen escapes from the Predator's breeding constraints, so in response the Predator lays an insanely strong bomb and the two make escape together in such a forced way, and celebrate their escape by branding the human and somewhat welcoming her into their culture, which is honestly just a strange scene, to be honest, which gets interrupted by the Queen, who just miraculously survives the bomb and literally crawls out of the ground right where they are, forcing us into another team up scene between the human and Predator, where During sacrifices himself.
No! 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 Fuck!
But still obviously able to get rid of the Queen, as the human returns the body to the King Predator or some shit, and in reward gets a mad little gift. The final scene shows the Predator's body in the ship after some time, where we see a chestburster come out of it, setting up the next film, which actually did come out but did not get good reception in the slightest. This is just another fun movie, I guess, that I feel has a bit more depth than the previous, but is still nothing groundbreaking. I'll be more inclined to watch this if I was a fan of the Predator franchise rather than the Alien, as it's probably more comparable. This is definitely not an Alien movie and just has aliens in it, bruv. But if you are considering watching an AVP movie, definitely choose this one, as more than likely you'll probably be wasting your time with Requiem.
There ain't no such thing as a tooth fairy.